When we think about the cities of the future, many of us envision utopian or dystopian scenes, visions where anything imaginable can come to life. Ultimately, we see how skyscrapers are built solely connected to the ground floor to achieve high density. This model repeats globally, yet in many cities, including Dubai and Tel Aviv, the actual density is surprisingly low. Reducing the use of private vehicles will be enabled by the light rail and metro system, which are scheduled for completion in the near future and will serve as a basis for significant urban change. In central Tel Aviv, the highest concentration of stations will be built, through which 4 out of 6 metro and light rail lines will pass. The new train system brings up questions about the relationship between the city's ground and underground levels, and the amount of underground parking that currently exists. According to a national master plan, the quantity and height of constructed mass throughout the city are undergoing significant changes. This will shape the urban area with dense and tall infrastructure next to station locations. It is suitable for architectural experimentation because it meets 3 central components. 1. Proximity to urban centers. 2. High concentration of accessible public transportation. 3. Up for significant changes in its building volumes. The site of this project is in Tel Aviv's main business center and is surrounded by key attractions like the Azrieli Center, Givon Square, and Sarona Complex. It is also planned to be highly accessible by various public transportation means with very high frequency. The area, currently characterized mainly by buildings up to 6 floors, is set to undergo significant changes. To a construction height of between 20 to 40 floors and multiplying its building volumes by 5, approximately 3,000 people are expected to pass through it per peak hour. These factors provide an opportunity to create a different urban model. Now, let's try to think about public space differently, somewhat like the futuristic movies we saw at the beginning. Through research, key principles have emerged: 3-dimensional interweaving of diverse programs, 3-dimensional urban connections generating random encounters in space, and natural light and airflow as essential infrastructure for sustainability. These principles aim to create a vibrant urban environment that enhances both functionality and human experience sustainably. Additional key principles that are relevant are accessible, diverse public transportation, intensive environment and street connections, and clear and coherent movement. The project aims to integrate multi-layered public spaces beyond street level, accompanied by diverse public services, while maintaining a high density that considers all these criteria. Public space key principles are layering of public space, diversity of public spaces, and high-density development while preserving public spaces for all. Public spaces are diverse and not confined solely to the city center. Adjacent to them are a variety of public services, all within a high density that considers each of these criteria. To better understand the size of the area, one can see on the right a stack of all the masses in the project in one tower that rises to a height of about 2 kilometers. Using a learning algorithm, the minimal constructive structure for the project has been found from an environmental aspect of reduced material usage. In addition, I have designed a secondary constructive system that, following sustainable thinking, allows for the creation of a building structure that does not require adaptation or specialized production for each part of the project. The construction method aims to minimize pollution and maximize efficiency. Robots will print the structure using concrete free of cement, reinforced with carbon fiber. This approach allows for precise material usage and minimizing waste during construction. The project will integrate movement from the city ground and underground to internal movement systems. The project's movement systems are characterized by fast vertical movement and horizontal movement, characterized by public green spaces, commercial streets, and recreational and sports places. The aim is for a gradual shift from public to private uses, emphasizing spatial organization over conforming to a fixed form. This approach allows creativity in designing diverse 3-dimensional spaces for different purposes within the project. I prioritize creating a sustainable space in its construction methods and daily functionality. On the southern facade and rooftops, solar panels are integrated. On the western and northern facades, three-dimensional woven grids cool down at night and in the humid morning air. Water collected in these grids feeds a hydroponic wall system, fostering diverse urban nature and allowing each resident to grow a small garden near their apartment balcony. In an era of climate change and widespread urban congestion, the need to rethink urban spatial perception is crucial. Preserving principles of light, air, and public spaces, while harnessing technology to implement them in places with minimal carbon footprint. This is in order to preserve urban spaces that will benefit their residents.